Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy OMA. I'm back here with another Halo Infinite video. This one not on a product, it's actually to do with the Halo campaign. No real spoilers, I swear, there's no story talk or anything like that. I wanted to take a peek at all of the targets in Halo Infinite, because I actually just about 20 minutes ago finished killing them all, because I wanted all the special weapons and stuff. And I thought it'd be kind of interesting to take a peek at them and look through all of their history and their little blurbs and stuff like that. I found them really cool. I've got to say, I want more. I'm hoping if there's expansion, there's going to be more targets and more lore to get into. And I'd maybe like them to be a little bit more difficult to kill, make them a little bit more unique. But either way, I just wanted to jump in and take a peek at them. So let's get on to number one. We're going to take a peek at him, his blurb, and then look at his weapon. And I'm going to try and figure out what the actual differences are. Some of them are kind of obvious. Some of them I have no clue what the difference is. Maybe they're just stronger. And I probably am going to butcher some of these names and the reading because I'm terrible at it. So number one is Inca Sam. Sam? Am I saying that right? Either way, Inca Sam grew in notoriety during the Covenant War as a shipmaster of the DAS class storm cutter Percy Sorrow, which repeatedly harassed Unity supply lines and UEG trade routes. After the collapse of the Covenant, Sam struck an alliance with the war chief Escharum and dedicated the service of his ship and crew to the Banished. In 2559, a Spartan 4 headhunter was dispatched to assassinate Sam, but the mission failed. According to the reports, our operative was held and tortured as a prisoner of war, not to obtain UNSC intel, but simply for Sam's enjoyment. Since then, Sam has been inducted into the Blood Stars, a banished Spec Ops group repurposed to train warriors in the art of eliminating Spartans. So, and he provides you with the rapid fire pulse carbine. So that is this little pretty thing right here. I guess. I mean, the first and most obvious difference is it's white, and I'm assuming it is rapid fire. Yeah, so it fires a heck of a lot quicker. I mean, I guess this would be kind of a perk. I'm not too sure if this would be much of a perk. I mean, I guess this would, in multiplayer especially, it probably would help a little bit. In campaign, I'm not too sure. I prefer to take it a little bit slower with these, just because, honestly, I'm terrible with these carbines. It does feel a little bit nicer. So target number 2 is Thav Sebarium. Thav Sebarim? Alright, Thav. I'm just going to go with that. Kaidan Thav Sebarim, I'm butchering that, was one of the leading Covenant commanders in their final strike against humanity and its colonies on Reach and Luna. He abandoned his station after the Prophets betrayed the elites and fled back to his homeworld of Subban, to be reunited with their kin at the Keep of Malston. I'm butchering all of this. As the Sangheli people descended into a vicious cycle of civil war, the Kaidan joined forces with Atriox, as the Banished did not discriminate against Sangheli warriors. Scroll that. So long as they were skilled, Sebarium has become infamous for his action in the Battle of Harrow, where his siege of the city of Aruvon resulted in the death of over 700,000 human civilians. I butchered all of that, but he gives you the Arcane Sentinel Beam, which again I think is one of those weapons that's, you know, it's got a new color. Yeah, so it's recolored, obviously white, and I'm guessing it's just a bit stronger because I can't tell a huge difference. I feel like the beam might be a slight different color. Maybe it pumps out damage a bit quicker because it seems to need a reload way quicker from what I remember. But I don't think there's a huge difference. But yeah, it runs out of ammo bloody quick. Now on to number 3, which is Okro Vagadon. For the last decade of the war, Okro Vagadon was considered one of the most lethal infantry assets in the Covenant, and was granted the title of Blade Master by the Minister of Resolution for his remarkable combat ability. Okay, I'm sorry. Vagadon hailed from a long line of sword fighters and repeatedly defied odds, surviving even when vastly outnumbered. When the Covenant fell into disarray at the hand of the Prophets, he returned to Subban, the blood moon of Sanghelios and his birth world, where he was approached by Atriox with an offer to join the Banished. Only after a year of watching his own people fall to civil war, he agreed. Since then, Vagdon has fought exclusively for the Banished as part of the Blood Brave, a sect of highly esteemed warriors from his homeworld. Okay, so he's pretty cool. I like him. I love the elites. Elites are like my favorite enemies in the game, and I much prefer them over brutes and everything else. I love them to pieces. He gives you the Duelist Energy Sword, which again, I'm not entirely sure of the huge difference. So I don't know if there's a massive difference. Maybe it's the shape slightly altered. And again, I think it's just the damage is a little different. Yeah, I think the shape is a little different, and the damage output may be a bit better. Like I feel like it's got a bit more of a pointy edge there, and it's got this like curvaceous piece in the middle. Curvaceous. And that point, you know, it seems a little bit different, but not massively. Look at my replica back there; it doesn't look awfully different. But either way, it's I'm sure there is some benefit to it. It's not just an energy sword, but it doesn't look massively different. Either way, it's a cool weapon. Probably would be a much cooler weapon, but it's definitely outshunned by the Elite Bloodblade, which you get through the story. I won't tell you about that. Just, you do get it. You know, this is way cooler. It's prettier, it's cooler, so it gets outshunned right there. The Duelist Blade probably would be a little bit nicer, but this just outshines it. I mean, look at that thing. It has no chance against this. Like, so on to number 4, our first little grunt here. So this is Bitbap. Why can't they all have these names? The mercenary Bitbap is among the most dangerous Ungoys known to the UNSC. Once a bodyguard for high-ranking Covenant officials, Bitbap earned his reputation through ruthlessness in service of the chieftain Tartarus. Slaying scores of his own people for siding with the elite in the Great War. Following the collapse of the Covenant, Bitbap returned to his homeworld of Balaho to refashion himself as an assassin for hire, and was so successful that he was granted the title of Vanquisher by his clan. Bitbap is notorious for numerous acts of widespread destruction on the colony of Venezia, where his relentlessness and ruthless pursuit of his targets and the collateral damage caused along the way resulted in over 830 human casualties. Alright, so he's got to be like the most dangerous goddamn grunt on Earth. Like, Bitbap's a badass. He's got to be the most dangerous grunt out there. I'm just going to put it out there. He took one hit. He's no stronger than any other grunt. One hit, he was down. I don't know how he took out 830 humans. One hit, he was down. So he gives you the Calcine Disruptor. I'm butchering so much of this, but again, I really wish there was like a bit that told you what all of these different weapons did, what the difference is. There probably is, and I just missed it. But there doesn't seem to be a massive difference. You know, you get the recolor, which is kind of cool, but I'm assuming that they do more damage or they fire faster. I mean, to me, it seems like it fires just as fast. Maybe it reloads a bit quicker. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it does more damage. But I know with these, they're supposed to be, you know, you hit 3 shots and it starts sort of like EMPing and destroying shields and freezing people and stuff like that. Either way, I've actually quite enjoyed them. I quite like them. I even like them in multiplayer. I think they're really useful.
Check your fire.
Sorry, mate. I find them really useful, even in multiplayer. They're great, especially if you're needing to get assists. These things just, you know, 3 shots in, you're flicking their shield out, let your friends finish them off with a headshot or something. You've got your assists, the kills there. So, we thought Bitbap was cool. What we've got next may just top Bitbap. It's Briglard. Briglard the Grunt. Briglard, one of the most disturbing reports from recent encounters with the Banished, concerns the Ungoy known as Briglard. The Grunt gained notoriety near the end of the Covenant War in the Great Schism, where his vicious and often sadistic behavior on the battlefield earned him a high priority target designation by Arbiter Yadam's allied forces. Briglard joined the Banished after the war's conclusion, where his macabre infatuation with violence and his affinity for the I can't say most of these. Uralahane? I cannot tell. I cannot do that. Whose ruthlessness inspired his own, has earned him great respect amongst his peers. He's been known to not just kill UNSC personnel at rates far outstripping other Ungoi, but to do so in horrific and disturbing ways. So once again, we've got like a killer. We've got a killer grunt here. Took one hit. All of the grunts do. None of them are that. I mean, maybe they take two. Some of them got like the overshield, but you know, they're nothing special. I love that there's like all of this story behind them, behind these tiny little grunts, and like still end up the same way. Maybe they're a little bit braver because I've never seen one of the targets run away, but you know what? They didn't last that long. Especially if you're doing it towards the end of the game where you got wasps and like all this high end gear to help you out. They just don't last 2 minutes. Either way, it's cool to see. Usually they look kind of the same as some of the other grunts, and like especially the ones with all the gear on their back. They're just recolored, much like their weapons. So he gives you the Unbound Plasma Pistol. Here comes this little beauty. So again, like yeah, recolor. And there's a whole mess of weapons on here. I don't know if it does much else apart from being a recolor. It's still a plasma pistol. I don't think there's a huge difference going on here. But yeah, either way, it's still cool. Still cool. Or actually... Oh! There's your difference. When you fire the Unbound, it spreads off into a little buckshot of plasma. Ah! It's not bad. I can still fire at normal fire, but the charge shot... Boom. Pretty cool. Now, number 6, Barath. The Jackal. Having earned his title of Kordat, oh my god, for his exceptional prowess behind a scope, Ruthian marksman Barath garnered a reputation among Kigel treasure hawks and raiding Crowes from his virtually unblemished accuracy record. I am butchering so much of this. The reputation earned interest from the Banished and eventually initiation into their Bloodstar ranks with the aim of producing a lethal Spartan killer. To date, our best intel attributes at least 271 UNSC deaths directly, I'm guessing that should be directly to Barath. If given the opportunity, we must engage carefully, but with extreme prejudice. So, Badass Jackal gives you a Stalker Rifle Ultra, which again, I'm imagining that, like the old Ultra weapons in all the other Halo games, it's just a recolor that's slightly stronger. I feel like it's a recolor that's just a bit stronger. I don't even think that... I think the beams are the same color. I wouldn't swear to it. I'm pretty sure they are. Now, number 7, we got Zeretus. Zeretus? Zeretus? These names are killing me. Look, okay, look, I'm terrible at reading out loud anyway. I'm just bad at it. I mean, I'm even worse with like some of these names. They're just horrific. Just bad. I can't do it. One of the most senior officers in the Banished, Zeretus, known to his peers as the Scourge Maker, he was interesting to fight, was among the first to join the faction after Atriox made his stand against the Covenant. Since then, he's been a critical component of Banished exploration efforts, leading numerous operations to scour Forerunner relic sites in search of critical assets, and destroying anything that stands in his way. In one such operation on the ocean moon Lagolim, Zeretus ordered the sinking of a UEG research colony in pursuit of an ancient Forerunner site beneath the seas. Of the 1,244 scientists and analysts stationed there, none survived. So he gives you the M41 tracker. I have no idea why he gives you the tracking spanker, but he does. And you know what? I'm going to say he's... it's one of the most useful weapons. It really is one of the most useful weapons.
I owe you money or something?
Find it. So obviously he's got a slight recolor with like the yellow accents, which I believe actually lines up with some of the weapons you get for gaining valor in the game. So specifically, like if you get the Convergence Bulldog, the color scheme is pretty similar.
Look, just say it.
So I suppose it's meant to match up, but this genuinely does have a real use. It's kind of hard to do because I've got no enemies around, but it is a tracker. So just like everything else, you aim it at something, it turns red, it then goes beep, 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 and tracks. You fire, and it tracks the shot. It's so useful, and if you can get it early on in the game, or even midway through the game, it'll be pretty useful, especially for like future stuff when you're taking out targets and dealing with vehicles, and especially some of the targets who are in vehicles. It makes life so much easier, and especially some of the like side stuff, like some of these bigger side missions, it will be massively useful. So he is actually stationed all the way out here somewhere. I believe even, yeah, here we go. So he is right there. So he is right at the sort of like end of the map, but if you can make your way over there and grab it, it'll be it's a very useful thing to have. So last up for this video, because I feel like it's going to be like really, really long, and I don't want it to be a really long video. If you guys enjoy it, I will carry it on and do the other few. The other 7. There's another 7. Another 7. Yeah, if you guys like it, I'll do the other 7. I really love it. I love exploring the lore. But the last guy is Balcarus, who is one of the first, believe he was actually the first one I took out. And I'm so grateful that he's early on, because he gives you the Riven Mangler. And I love the Mangler. The Mangler is my favorite goddamn weapon in the game. And this, it just takes it to another level. So let's go take a peek at him. He's a veteran Jiharalanate officer of the Banished who once served directly under Atriox's command, accompanying his war chief on several critical missions. In recent years, he's attempted to leverage his trusted standing to earn a place in the Bloodstars Spec Ops group, a former Covenant combat team appropriated by Atriox as an elite unit trained for the singular purpose of killing Spartans. Though he has yet to achieve his goal, Balcarus has distinguished himself among his fellow officers for his ferociousness in battle, and has been known to kill his own soldiers for the slightest demonstration of hesitancy on the battlefield. So he gives you the Riven Mangler, which is one of my favorite weapons in the game, hands down. So obviously we've got a recolor, it's white, which I think looks pretty cool on a Mangler. Also, it fires 3 shots. So it fires multiple shots. I'll try and get further back. So you should be able to see there like 3 shots, boom, boom, boom. And yeah, I'm not sure if this is like supposed to be a thing it does, but they pop. So it does 3 shots, and I believe they pop. Yeah, so I believe that's still kind of like explosive rounds to an extent. I'm not sure if that's just to get rid of the the model there, if it does any damage, but I found this thing to be awesome. It acts just like the Mangler. Obviously, it is a Mangler, but you know, it does them great, just easy headshots on enemies. The triple shots seem to do a decent amount more damage. The only annoying thing is that obviously you can't replenish the ammo from a standard Mangler. You have to find the kinetic ammo station or pop back to a fob and reorder the weapon. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. There is another 7 that I could go over. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed it. I really am hoping this is like fun for some people, because I find it really interesting, and I kind of love doing it. And also it helps me get more comfortable reading stuff out loud. It makes me more comfortable trying this sort of thing. You know, to me, this whole thing's learning, different kind of video, seeing how you guys like it, makes me more confident, makes me more comfortable. It's a win-win for me. I'd love to go over them all. Let me know what you guys think. I've butchered a lot of these words, so any tips on getting them better, or if someone knows how they're supposed to be pronounced, please let me know. But I'll see you guys later, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.